So I've owned my LG washer dryer combo for about a year now, and I've had a lot of questions about it, and people are still wondering just how well is this thing holding up, and I'm going to tell you all about that today. But without further ado, let's get started. Just to provide a quick recap for maybe those of you out there who have never seen my videos on washer dryer combos before, or maybe you're just unaware that these things actually exist. So this is a 2-in-1 washer dryer combo, meaning that you do not need a separate washer and a separate dryer. It is all self-contained in one system. It utilizes a heat pump, which in the world of modern day washer dryer combos, that seems to be the new hotness. That's kind of like the new thing to put into these machines just because of how efficient they are. It also utilizes a 120 volt outlet versus your dryer, which most likely uses a 240, meaning it's very efficient in terms of your electric bill. This thing roughly costs anywhere from maybe $10 to $12 a year to use. So overall, I think that's pretty good. It's ventless. What do I mean by that? So unlike your traditional standalone dryer where you have to hook up a vent and it has to vent all that excess heat up into the atmosphere, you don't have to worry about that. This thing is ventless, meaning that it takes all that heat that it produces and it redistributes it back into the combo, meaning that your clothes, not only will they dry better, more efficiently, but it's also a lot cheaper. Another thing that seems to be catching on is the fact that these things have auto dispense detergent and softener, meaning that if I want to do a load of laundry, I don't have to worry about having to measure out detergent or softener every single time. It does all that for me, and it's very, very convenient. And also this machine does utilize the LG Think app, which really unlocks a lot of things, and it also just kind of keeps me aware of what's going on. For example, when my load of laundry is done, it will send a notification to the app, and I'll also get a notification on my watch that my load of laundry is completed, just so it's not sitting in the machine for an excessive amount of time. So now that I've provided a quick recap, of course, when there are some ups, there are some downs as well. This machine, in the year that I've owned it, has not been all sunshine and rainbows. Believe it or not, actually, this is LG number 3, and I'm going to kind of outline what happened with the first two before we finally achieved success on the third one, because they say there's third time's the charm, I guess. So let's recap back to April of 2024, so about a year ago. So I get this machine delivered, the delivery guys hook it up, everything seems to be going fine. And of course I do as I normally do, with my previous machine. I throw a load of laundry in there just to kind of test it out, just to see how it performs and all that. I'd say about 45 minutes to an hour within my cycle, all of a sudden I start smelling something. I think I was downstairs at the time, and I get this like putrid smell to the point where I'm getting nauseous. And it's actually coming from the LG. And it gets to the point where I have to turn on the fan in my laundry room. I have to close my freaking door there just because the smell was so bad. And I also even had to open all my doors and all my windows because the stench was just absolutely ridiculous. So finally the machine, cycle finishes. I pull out my clothes, and that horrid smell that I was smelling even transferred to my clothes to the point where I couldn't wear them. My clothes were absolutely unwearable because honestly, I thought I was gonna puke. So it got to the point where I actually had to wash them in my other washer dryer combo just to get the smell out. And of course I'm like, okay, this is a little bit strange. So I decide to, run a few, I think I ran about 4 or 5 cleaning cycles with tablets and all that just to hopefully get the smell out. And even weeks later, no joy. That smell is still there. There's just nothing I can do. So I contact LG, they apologize. Fast forward a little bit, they send me a second machine. They take the old one away, they apologize and all that. And so I'm like, oh yes, thank God. There's no way that this could happen again. Wrong. The same thing actually happened again. The smell wasn't quite as bad, but then I ran into a new issue with the second one. It basically wasn't collecting lint. All the lint itself was actually collecting itself in the drum seal. Like, for example, I would pull out the lint trap that's on top of the machine and there would be no lint at all. So all that dog hair and all that lint wasn't going anywhere. It was staying within the machine. So I'm like, people, what the heck? I'm about to give up on this machine. I'm fed up with it at the time. Even though the smell wasn't as bad, but the point that there's no, the lint wasn't collecting was just getting a little ridiculous. So once again, they apologize, and they offered to send me a third machine, but this one was going to be a little bit different, and it was going to take a little bit longer to arrive. So this one, according to LG Engineering, this is their Generation 2 model, which apparently they fixed everything that I said was wrong with it. So I'm actually happy that LG did actually take that into account to fix all these problems. So good on you, LG, for that. So we're going to fast forward a few months to August. So this third machine, that I have sitting in my laundry room, that's LG number 3, and I've had that one since August. And this one's worked great. It's been absolutely fantastic. In theory, like I said, this is the Gen 2 model. I know a lot of people ask me, what's the difference, or how can you tell if you have a Gen 1 versus a Gen 2? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. The only way I've been able to answer is if there is a horrid smell coming from your machine, then most likely you have a Gen 1. But considering that's already 2025, I would assume that if you did purchase one of these today, that it would be a Gen 2. So they do say that the third time is the charm. And now that I've had this third machine since August, it's been working pretty well. It has been great. It has been flaw-free for now, other than there is a little bit of lint buildup in the actual drum itself. It's not as bad as, the 2 previous ones. It's just, I kind of wish that lint was actually able to make itself to the lint trap instead of actually collect in that rubber drum seal. But now I'm going to kind of answer some of your questions. I've had a lot of questions about this thing over my year of ownership, as well as outline some of my favorite features. So a lot of people ask, how long does a typical cycle take? And keep in mind, this is to wash and to dry. A lot of people seem to get that a little confused. They think that it's just drying. No, this is for a typical load cycle, and it takes about 2 hours. And my clothes come out completely dry, they come out completely clean, and I've had really no issues. I know for some, 2 hours seems like a long time, but really it's not when you think about the sheer convenience, which is something else I'm about to outline is one of my favorite things, is the overall convenience of having a washer-dryer combo. So for example, unlike your traditional washer-dryer set, I have to wait and I have to put my clothes into the washer, and then I have to wait, and then I have to put them into the dryer. I don't have to do that. I just throw my clothes into the machine, I power it on, I press the play button, and I go on about my day, which makes it extremely convenient. And also the fact that it has the auto dispense detergent and softener is pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of that feature. Something I'm even a bigger fan of about the auto dispense detergent is the fact that I can actually link the detergent tank reservoir and the softener, because I don't use fabric softener. I think I've used it once in my entire life, and it just doesn't seem like something that I want to purchase. But a lot of the time, that softener tank is just going to be left unused. But LG thought of that. So what I can do is you can actually link the two together, and I can actually fill both the detergent and the softener tank both with detergent, meaning that I get double the use out of it. So pretty much I wouldn't say never have to refill it, but your time between refills is going to be a lot more spaced apart. A lot of people ask too, can this thing wash a king size comforter? And the simple answer is yes. In the roughly year, I guess you can say since August, whatever you want to call it, since I've owned this machine, I've had no problems washing a king size comforter. It's got 5 cubic feet of space, which is more than plenty. It fits it just fine, it washes it just fine, it dries it just fine. There's really been no issues. Something that I'm a really big fan of as well is the pedestal. So the pedestal in this thing is pretty cool, and I thought it was something that I didn't really need, but not only is this pedestal, it makes the machine sit a lot higher off the ground, meaning that I don't have to reach as far down to pick up my clothes out of the machine, which, that's ultimate first world problems. It also comes with a removable basket, which is overall pretty cool. I'm a big fan of just being able to, take my clothes right out of the machine and just kind of dump them right into the basket and then take them into my room. Another thing that I'm a big fan of is the LG Think app, which I know a lot of people are saying these days, why does my washer and dryer need an app? I think that's stupid. Until you've used it, I would maybe put a pin in that one, because after using the Think app, it's actually quite useful. You can do an array of things with this app, ranging from you can power on your machine, you can run through different cycles, it'll even tell you the overall health of the machine, how much detergent you have left, you can even remote start it all from the app. So there's a lot to do. So if you're maybe a little sketchy about your appliance needing an app, maybe think again about that one. Well, everyone, that's all I got for you today. If you found the video educational and informative, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button below. And once again, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will answer them as quick as I can. But hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See ya.